Looking for a new coaching position, the only school that would offer me a job was Ball State at an offensive coordinator position. So I ended up taking it. This is a new type of rebuild for me where I'm going to be switching schools hopefully every year depending on if I get any good offers until I win a national championship with a school as a head coach. Let's hop into the video. On my first drive as an offensive coordinator, we get stuck on a 3rd and 10, but luckily for me, my QB finds my wide receiver deep and he gets in for the touchdown. As we get stuck on a 2nd and 19 after getting sacked on 1st down, my QB drops back. He ends up throwing the ball right into double coverage. A freshman mistake, it's okay. He has time to grow. I'm not too worried. After a sluggish first half, to end the half, our QB finds our wide receiver wide open in the back of the end zone to give us a 2-possession lead going into halftime. On the 4th and goal, I make the gutsy play call to go for it, knowing that if we get this, we win the game, and our QB finds our running back wide open for the touchdown. I end up winning my first game with Ball State 21-3, ready for our next test against Miami next week. Going into this matchup, I think this could be our toughest test all year, and if we win this game, we could have a real shot of making it to the conference championship. After getting stalled out on our first possession, we had a real good chance to take the lead here, but we end up shanking the kick, and it was also short. So now it's still 0-0. After getting stuffed on 1st and 2nd down, we get a huge shot here to our running back who gets a huge gap on the right side of the field, and he makes a man miss and gets stopped at around the 30-yard line. Huge play. After that play, we get the ball down in the red zone where our freshman QB is able to find our wide receiver over the top of the defender for the touchdown. To end the 3rd quarter, I go for a gutsy run call, and with our running back able to get on the outside, we're able to get into the end zone and tied the game up at 14 apiece. With the biggest play of the game coming forward, I decided to go for it, not trusting my kicker, and this is what happens. We get stuffed. Now, with Miami getting a last-second field goal, we end up losing, but I'm really excited for our next game. Going against Central Michigan, I'm expecting a bounce-back week from last week against Miami. With our freshman quarterback making another huge mistake this week against Central Michigan and also not being able to tackle the defender, they get a pick 6. With the bad half so far, I decided to go with the play-action pass, and we find our wide receiver right along the edge of the sideline for the easy touchdown. After getting stopped on 3rd down, I decide that it's best to go for the 1-possession game, and we do end up making the field goal, making it a 1-possession game. A disappointing loss this week. Hopefully we'll do better next week. To start the game, I decided to go with a play-action pass, and my wide receiver beat the cornerback deep, and it ended up just being an easy touchdown. I did not expect that to be the first play of the game. After seeing how good the play worked the first time, I decided to go back to it, but without the play action, and my wide receiver barely beat the guy deep and ended up getting tackled into the end zone. After driving all the way down the field, in the last minute, we were able to put 3 more points on the board, taking a 2-possession lead going into the half. I didn't feel like I was getting much momentum on offense, so I decided to go back to that same play that worked well twice so far, and my wide receiver ended up getting a toe tap catch, which gave us the ball in the field goal range. After getting stuffed on the 1, we were able to get into the end zone with this inside zone run by our running back. After a bounce-back win against James Madison, I felt that our team was ready to go on the road next week against Western Michigan. This week did not go as planned. We ended up losing 13-0, and this clip basically sums up the whole game. So I'm not going to show any part of the game besides this because that sums up the whole game. Hope we do better next week. After last week, I'm now in the hot seat, and now I might need a win against Kent State this week so I don't get fired. After starting the game in the red zone, we were able to capitalize on a second and goal with a tough touchdown catch by our tight end. On 1st and 10 here to end the quarter, I go back to my old trusty play action, and my freshman QB finds my wide receiver wide open on a streak for the easy touchdown to take the 14-0 lead. At the end of the third quarter, to take a commanding lead that would ultimately end this game, my freshman QB finds my running back wide open on a Texas route for the easy touchdown. With the huge win this week against Kent State, I'm hoping that my job will be safe for the rest of the season and I can focus on bettering this team and getting a better opportunity next year. With nothing clicking on offense in this first half, I decided to go with the deep shot to my wide receiver, and he ended up burning the cornerback and getting a huge chunk play to get us down inside the red zone. Sadly, after that huge play, we weren't able to convert it into a touchdown, and we ended up having to settle with 3, making it a 2-possession game going into halftime. As the drive ended, we ended up having to punt the ball, but luckily for us, there was a flag on the play, and they ended up roughing the kicker, which gave us another opportunity to make it a one-score game before the fourth quarter. On that same drive, we ended up getting a great motion on 2nd and 3, and we find our wide receiver on a streak, cutting back for the deep ball to get us inside the red zone. After not being able to do anything on 1st and 2nd down, I put my wide receiver on a slant, and he ends up getting open for the touchdown, making it a one-possession game from a great throw by our freshman quarterback. On 4th and 10, our last chance to beat Vandy, we end up getting our wide receiver open on the corner out, and he drops the football. It's just, I need to coach them better. That's my fault. Luckily, I lied, and we had one more opportunity to win the game. But sadly, our freshman QB got hit as he threw the football, and it ended up getting picked off, and with our O-lineman not being able to get to the middle linebacker, was a pick 6. A loss in heartbreaking fashion this week to Vanderbilt. I'm really hoping we can do better next week, as my job is now on the hot seat again. After a rough first half, we go for it on a 4th and 2 inside field goal range, and my running back gets stopped short, and in a last desperation effort, he pitches the ball backwards, and it just ends up being a fumble. After a long back and forth game without much scoring, we get the ball on a 4th and 13, and we end up not getting it after getting stopped 5 yards short, ending the game. Could have been a better game. I really hope I'm not on the hot seat after this loss. After a great first drive getting the ball all the way down the field, I decide to go with a play action for the touchdown, giving us a 7-0 lead. With about a minute left in the half, I decide to go with the pass, and my freshman QB finds my tight end open for the big completion. Now, on our second and 4 of the drive, I go back to the pass, and we find our tight end open again for the touchdown. With one more first down needed to seal this game away, I give the ball to my running back, and he's able to juke out a defender and get the first down for the win. Now, if we win 2 of our next 3 games, we will still be bowl eligible, which would be huge for this program. After a long, grueling drive, we get stuck on a 3rd and 3, and needing to make something happen, my freshman QB throws it into the end zone to my tight end on the corner, but he ends up not getting open, and we have to settle for 3 points. Once again, stuck on a 3rd down, this time a 3rd and 16, my freshman QB is able to hit my running back on the Texas route, but we get stopped, and we have to settle for yet again another field goal. With 50 seconds left on the clock and no way to win this game, I give my QB the chance to throw up a deep ball, and we get the touchdown. Still going to be down by 4, we will end up losing this game. After a good first drive, we get pushed back inside the 10 and have to settle for a field goal inside the red zone. After they came back firing with the touchdown of their own, on our first play on offense, we get a drag route that goes 75 yards to the house for a touchdown, giving us the 10-7 lead. With the touchdown to end the third quarter, we're able to get it into a one-possession game. After them getting one more touchdown and us not being able to do anything on offense, we end up losing the game, knocking us out of bowl eligibility.
Ball State takes over the football, and the Cardinal offense headed out.
After getting out to a quick 7-0 start, I decided that we should try a jet sweep with this offense, and we ended up getting 10 yards, good gain, trying out something new since we're not bowl eligible, hoping that maybe next year I can do something with this team or another team that gives me an offer.
They can't take a negative play.
The play caller's got to look up and down his sheet here
To end the second quarter, my freshman QB, no longer acting like a freshman, throws an absolute bullet, and with my wide receiver making one juke, we get into the touchdown to take a 2-possession lead. With one final kneel down to finish off the season, we end up going 5-7. About where I expected us to be this season, nothing too special, but we balled out in our last game, winning 21-0. Great experience in my first year as the OC. So guys, after my first year of the offensive coordinator at Ball State, I ended up getting a head coaching job at Western Kentucky, so I ended up taking it, leaving behind my freshman quarterback for a new opportunity as the head coach of the Western Kentucky Wildcats. I'm not really sure, but bro, Hilltoppers. Bro, I'm so excited for what next season will have to offer. But for that, this is going to be the end of the video, and peace out. God loves you.